ship can lie to you. A ship can lie to you. A ship can lie to you. The weather can. The instruments can. Even your own eyes can. But the logbook? That's supposed to be the last honest thing on board. Date, time, position, what you saw, what you did. You write it down, you sign your name, and that's the version the sea has to argue with. Out here in the spectral sea, the log doesn't just remember. It answers back. Tonight I opened the book and found pages I don't remember writing in my own voice. You're listening to Dead Reckoning Radio. 12 nights, 12 days. A Christmas cruise caught in waters where time doesn't run straight. This is day 8, the Devil's Logbook. We've had bells ringing at the wrong hour, sirens singing through frost, and you will feast on ships that never saw spring. Tonight, it's not the sea that's haunted, it's the paperwork. Mariners like to tell stories about monsters and curses, but if you want to know what really scared them, you read the logs. Not the tall tales in the taverns after. The dry ink, the official hand. Every so often, a captain who's supposed to be recording wind speed and barometer readings slips and writes what he actually saw. You can line them up like an advent calendar of dread counting down to Christmas. December 1, unidentified light off starboard bow. No land on chart, light moved against wind. December 5, crew reports seeing serpent-like form under surface. Length unknown, sea otherwise calm. December 10, lost 6 hours from all chronometers. Sky unchanged, no explanation. December 15, men claim we passed this stretch of sea twice. Swear they recognize cloud formations. December 20, passengers behaving as if they had done this voyage before, repeating phrases. Unnerved junior officers. December 24, observed ring of lights on horizon. Not stars, not ships. Forming patterns not consistent with known navigation beacons. Then because sailors are stubborn, they still see the holiday ritual. Christmas dinner observed, carols sung to keep spirits up, crew morale good. And after that, sometimes the entries thin out. Sometimes they stop completely. Sometimes another ship, decades later, writes about passing wreckage in a stretch of ocean that was supposed to be empty. Sea serpents, impossible lights, time slips, crew moving like they're on the second run of a story they don't remember rehearsing. You can blame fatigue, faulty instruments, bad weather, but when it keeps happening at the same times of year and the same twisted patches of water, eventually someone stops calling them bad days and starts calling them what they are. Fractures. Places where the sea folds in on itself, and the logbook, trying to tell a straight story, starts to bend too. On a normal ship, you keep one log at a time. Old ones go into storage, new ones start fresh. Out here, the spectral sea doesn't respect that kind of order. What I've got now feels like a stack of lives pressed into a single spine. I open to what I think is my own Christmas cruise. Weather notes, passenger counts, little scribbles about schedules. Formal Yule dinner, 1900 hours. Midnight service, carols on the aft deck. It's mine. It's my phrasing, my rhythm. Then I look at the date, and it's wrong. Not the year I remember, sometimes not even the decade. The handwriting looks close, but not quite. Like someone practiced being me and nearly got away with it. I flip a few pages back. Sighted serpentine form off port quarter at 03:15. Crew unsettled. No entry in official report. Same hand, same clipped way of leaving out more than it says. But the ship name at the top of the page isn't the one I captained. Flip forward again. Day before Christmas. Passengers restless. Several mention having dreamed this dinner already. Position, Wrong ocean. Flag, not the one I remember flying. And still, the voice on the page is mine. That's when I started to see what the spectral sea really does to time. It doesn't just trap ships, it splices their histories. The log stops being a straight line from departure to arrival. It becomes a corridor. One page in a century-long winter, the next in a neon-lit holiday cruise, the next in some future storm where sea monsters are just another line item. And threaded through those pages, over and over again, is me. Not just my ship, my voice. Sometimes the entries are almost exactly what I remember writing, just stamped with dates that don't belong to me. Other times they're from vessels I have never served on, but the choices of what to record and what to leave out are too familiar to dismiss. Out in these fractures, ghost ships aren't just hulls wandering without a crew. They're entire timelines sliding past each other, each leaving scrape marks in the records. The monsters show up between sentences. A large form beneath the keel, nobody wants to describe more clearly. A shadow above the clouds not filed under any known weather pattern. The lights arrange themselves in patterns the old captains didn't have words for. Rings, ladders, spirals that hang over the water like invitations or warnings. The clocks skip. They insist they've always read that way. And in the middle of it, Christmas keeps appearing on the page. Same songs, same toasts, different ships, different years. Yet somehow, the log reads like one long holiday that refuses to resolve. I tell myself I am one man who took one ship on one Christmas cruise that went wrong. That's a clean story, a straight line. When I stare at this logbook long enough, the line curls back on itself. I see my words and entries stamped 50 years apart. I see Christmas dinners described with details only I should know. A joke a passenger told, the exact way the lights reflected in the glass, written in a hand that looks like mine on paper but smells older than it should. Some pages swear I brought everyone home. Others trail off in storms I don't remember. Some say we never left the dock. That one scares me more than the rest. It's like flipping through photographs and finding your own face in crowds that shouldn't contain you. Except here, the photos are pages. The ink is the mirror. The handwriting is the ghost. And the calendar itself, those neat little boxes marching toward December 25th, feels less like a way to keep time and more like a ritual object. You turn each page towards Christmas the way you toll a bell, hoping this time the count will break the pattern. But in the spectral sea, patterns feed themselves. I don't pretend to understand how I can be in all these different years on all these different ships. But I can't deny it's my voice threaded through the Christmas weeks every time the sea decides to run this story. The logbook is telling me what I haven't wanted to say out loud. The holiday on my ship isn't a one-time tragedy. It's a period that replays, a corridor the sea keeps walking me down. And somewhere between the first carol and the last entry, I always end up here, alone with the records, trying to decide whether to write another page or finally close the book. Tonight, the Devil's Logbook showed its hand. Pages out of order, years stacked on top of each other. My Christmas voyages braided through ships that never should have known my name. But there's something else in these records, something I haven't talked about yet. The ports. Some of these entries swear we made landfall at cities I remember from my life ashore. Others list harbors that only exist on the spectral side of the charts, overlaying the same coastlines like double exposure photographs. And the strangest part is, I can't always tell which visits belong to my old life and which belong to whatever I've become since the sea took the straight line away. We've lingered on the ship long enough. Tomorrow, we follow the link to the shorelines, to lost ports and drowned devotions, to places where the saints people prayed to are now staring up from under the water. Night 9, lost ports and sunken saints. If the logs are haunted, What does that make the cities that keep appearing in them long after they've slipped beneath the waves? This is Night 8, signing off for now.